in the Houston area. We seen fires break out this year. We also seen the targeting of packages, so-called bombers. What we got now is we got a big underground tunnel proposal that's supposedly in the works. And they say it's because they don't want, you know, the flood waters. It'll be for the flood waters, you know. It'll help that situation, and that will be the cover story basically for the news. See, I got the eyes of an eagle. I mean, just looking through articles, scavenging, and reading through what these people saying. Like I said, this is developmental, they say. But developmental to me is a process created already. A process that they won't tell you is under operation, or they give you the public stunt. They give you the public scheme of the story. Flood control is what they're telling people. This is the reason they're telling. Houston area is considered a proposal to build massive underground tunnels to drain flood waters. That's part one of it. Not part two. They're not telling you everything. The project could take several $billion and take several years to complete. Houston Chronicle reported it will build a network of deep tunnels to carry water from several of Houston underwater waterways, so that they'd be able to keep 100-year storm event within their banks. And you look back to see, and you go dig deeper into the article, and you notice that FEMA will be partially funding this project. And it tells you right here, see, partially funded by FEMA hazard mitigation grants, and perhaps through other federal sources as well, the feds. Do we trust the feds? Do the feds tell us everything? How many times the feds have fed us crap? Spokeswoman for Gov. Greg Abbott said it's too early to comment on the proposal. Yeah, it's too early to comment on the proposal. Yeah. Associated Press, all rights reserved. I'm guessing this is a little map here of the routes. It says tags Texas, not sure. But yeah, this is a little video they have right here at the bottom. I'm guessing they're just showing you the outline of the scheme area. This is supposed to be a part of Texas. I'm guessing they put this in a video. But yeah, these people are so secretive. These people are so operationally hidden with their events. And they're just not truthful. And it's the reason why people are the way they are today. It's the reason why the country is the way it is today. Because of the schemes, the heights of covers. The heights. Supposedly they already have a retail city underground in downtown Houston. It say May 18, 2017, it posted an article about that. It says, discover one of the city's best kept secrets, boasting more than 6 miles of retail restaurants 20 feet beneath the skyscrapers in downtown Houston tunnel system. A lot of the people in Houston may know this, and a lot of them may not. Currently linked about 95 city blocks in the western half of downtown Houston tunnel system, a network of underground climate control pedestrian walkways that links 80 office towers, hotels, banks, corporate government offices. Yeah, so you know who's down there since we're talking about all of that. And let's look even further here. It tells you retail restaurants galore, similar to a major shopping mall, will find portions of the tunnel filled with food courts and beauty salons. Yeah, all of that. But the ones that's coming is going to be different, because it's going to be implemented with intentions, not telling you of retail. It don't tell you about shopping mall. It don't tell you none of that. It tells you about sewage and stuff like that, but they're spending billions of dollars to implement more on their game. Now we know underground tunnels, underground areas, underground, all types of bunkers, all this stuff is going on, and it's always a big cover story. You know, they will never ever put out a story, and that is a fact. they will never put out a story telling you exactly what's going on underground. Now, they will give you the story of DARPA and all that stuff, and they're doing their underground games. I already put a video out on that. Yeah, they're doing that, and it's like they're doing it because they want artificial intelligence also to be able to go through the tunnel. So first they're using the people, and they're putting this intelligence technology on it, so the machine pretty much can learn everything about what's going on underground. So when you got situations like this coming out, you can also think that, what are they gearing up for? If they're thinking about flood waters and storms, of course they're preparing other storms. They're preparing for storms, but also they're preparing for a ramp up on situations. Just as we've seen when the stores started to close during the time of, Walmart, Sam's Club, all that started happening, and then that's when they implemented the FEMA camps there. What happens, in situations revolving crisis moments and times where people need help, times where, you got people wanting gun control, you got murderous, threatening threats from sheriffs in North Carolina who's running and want your gun so bad. And then you hear about a ramp up of underground tunnels during all this time in the situation, which they say is in the works. But we know them to lie, and we know them to tell you things is in the works, things are happening, and they literally been happening for about 10 years, 15 years. So it leads me to tell you that, given of what these people do, given what these people say, it's already down there, it's already going on. And I already heard about a little bit of the situation, a little of this stuff occurring. I already knew that this stuff was, I didn't know at this rate, but I knew I was hearing a lot about the underground situation being developed. So then you gotta say, okay, where did that lead us next? Where did that lead us next? Well, when they got underground places like this, especially being funded by FEMA, basically tied all in with everything that's going on and the disappearance of people, and what else could be happening down there? Possibly running some type of concentration camp, especially if it's involving FEMA going underground. These are just my thoughts right here. But I'm able to think freely, right? Because they want to censor me all the time. But I'm still going to think freely. I'm not going to self-censor myself here, as a lot of people do. I'm not doing that. But anyway, just giving you a important story to elaborate on and to think about, and also investigate a little bit deeper on this yourself. Don't just believe me. The info out there. Articles up on usnews.com, which I believe I showed you the article. Stephen Jackson, JWTV. People won't believe it. People will take the article and they'll just believe the little nonsense that they've given you, and they'll say, oh, you're just crazy, it's all just and then, once the news puts something out, then they'll believe that. But what if the news never puts it out? Most of the population won't believe it. That's the trick, right? That's the tip. That's the key to keeping people dumbed down, because if the media doesn't say it, if the immediate media that they've known their entire life doesn't put it inside of their brain cells or feed it to them, it's unbelievable, right? It's just unbelievable. It's just, this is unbelievable. Now, of course, it's us who's awake here, and we know what's going on. And just like we were talking about yesterday, the war of infiltration in our country, and it could lead down to that too, the infiltration of our country. We talk about all these, the infiltrated CIA placed these people, like the groups, the terrorist organizations, been placed amongst us in our society. And people's like, oh, you're talking about Muslims. Oh, no, I wasn't talking about all Muslims. That's not what I was saying. It's not a war on Muslims. It's not a war on them. All of them are different. We're talking about the funded ones that shipped here, sent them by the CIA, FBI, our government who are running these operations and controlling these operations, these oppositions, sending them in to do the dirty work. We're not targeting a specific person as the entire problem. So just clearing that up and just talking about some things deeply in description, and just making sure we watch the steps and moves that's happening and occurring. But remember, I told you this, and you look into it yourself. You figure out, you find more information. It's all out there. The research is done for you here, but you can go further and look into it. I would encourage you to. Steven Jackson, JWTV. Thanks for tuning in. Subscribe, click the bell. Be back for more.